And I know Arsenal have been extremely quiet and keeping their cards very close to their chest concerning a successor. I think Aziz is saying that the journey of finding a new manager started at the time it was on Saturday, because the news broke out on Friday. The transfer window is going to be closing earlier this year, earlier than before. I mean, before the season even starts, there's a World Cup coming up. It must be absolutely critical that they get a manager in as soon as possible, perhaps even the day after the season finishes.
Well, yeah, I really think it is crucial how quickly they get somebody in. But again, it has to be the right person. So if you have to wait a little bit longer to get the right person, then that wait is worth it. Which is why I think that somebody who is available at the moment becomes a stronger favourite. And Luis Enrique...
I know you both mentioned Luis Enrique, but you've criticised the defence, you've criticised the organisation during the pre-show and half-time show for the Gunners and our post-show. What is someone like Simeone, who's known for his defensive nous, be someone suited for this?
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but the funny thing is when you talk about Enrique and even Guardiola, they always talk about attack. But actually their philosophy is win the ball back as quick as possible when they lose it. If you speak to the top managers, they're more happy about the way they've got the ball back and they've scored goals some days. And I think Enrique, for me, would be the same mindset. I totally understand what you're saying, but would they lose that forward-thinking players then if they get Simeone in? Will you keep it more tight? And then it's not the free-flowing football that you want to see at Arsenal. So I think you could probably do with a bit of both, couldn't you? A bit of Simeone, a bit of Luis Enrique.
If it works for someone like Mourinho, who's now through to an FA Cup final, could get another trophy.
It used to be boring Arsenal, didn't it? Yeah. And they were winning trophies, and the fans weren't too bothered back then. So maybe you're right. I think Simeone wouldn't be a bad appointment for Arsenal at all. He's a very talented guy, and he can certainly get a team organised. I mean, Atletico Madrid were awful to break down for most teams, weren't they, over the last few seasons?
The fact that they're punching well above their weight in terms of transfer fees, in terms of the money they get, the revenue and the stature of the clubs. Real Madrid and Barcelona are titans of the game, and what he's done there.
Yeah, I would agree. This won't happen, but I would love to see an English coach appointed. So I'm looking Eddie Howe, Bournemouth.
I thought you were about to say Gary Stevens.
Well, yeah, but that won't happen, I have to assure you of.
Eddie Howe?
Yeah, well, I don't think for 1 minute it would happen, but, I think he's a young English coach who's proved that he can achieve things on relatively limited resources. So actually, if he can do that at Bournemouth Football Club, what might he be able to do at Arsenal Football Club? And in my opinion, the reason they won't appoint him is because if they do and it goes wrong, then they get crucified.
Would Eddie Howe attract the top players around Europe?
Well, again, of course,
that'll be a factor in the decision at the club, most definitely.
Yeah, I would agree.
I can't see that happening. I think he'll definitely come from abroad. I can't see it being a British manager.
No, and neither can I.
We want that in our game, and I'd like to see it as well. But I just think to attract the top players around Europe, you need somebody with contacts. You need somebody with a bit more know-how, and I just can't see it.